let's be very careful calling things that are not proper sin. There are things that are not proper because of human doctrines, but they might not be sin according to the biblical standard. We must be careful with this. I gave these examples before. There were times that certain churches made their members feel watching the TV, putting on earrings, wearing trousers, and even plaiting your hair or wearing attachments was sinful. But it wasn't. But by their own doctrine, it wasn't proper. And so many of them did not get this difference. Today now, we criticize a lot of things without really thinking deep if this thing is really a biblical sin or is just not proper according to human doctrines. I'll give you an example. Many of us today, we frown with Pastor Apostle Salma that he has a girlfriend, the whole saga story around it, and they've been dating for a long time. Many people came online to talk against that relationship and say something must be going on and stuff like that. These things are just speculations. My question now is it a sin to date for a long time? Or are we just not comfortable with the fact that he's dating somebody for a long time? As my friends don't even know the story behind why they are dating for a long time, why they're not yet married. But we are making it look as if it's a sin because, and you see, it is so because it is Apostle Samuel. If it was you and I that are dating somebody for a very long time, even if it's 10 years, nobody's going to worry. In fact, they'll be encouraging you and saying, you know what, trust the Lord, it can happen, But because it is him, we are uncomfortable with it. My question now is your problem the fact that it is not proper because he's a spiritual leader, or that it is a biblical sin to date for a long time? And please, if it's a sin, show me in the Bible where God says to date for a long period of time is wrong. Now, if there are certain rules within the body of Christ that does not permit that, then it's a different thing. They should form up a meeting and go to him and say, okay, this and this and this is not proper according to, the rules of the church. But we don't have rules like that, except we want to start making them up. So the fact that it is not proper, that we are not comfortable with that, doesn't make it a sin. And we have so many issues like this hovering in the body of Christ that we are tagging as sin, but it is simply because we are not comfortable, we are not used to such a thing. And this is why I remember when I traveled to New York, I personally searched after, is it the church, Hillsong Church? Or is it Jesus Culture? I think one of them, I can't remember again. I went there. Now, there is nobody that would tell me they've not been impacted by songs coming from Hillsong or Jesus Culture, at least back in the days. I don't know about now. I went to their church and I saw the same people that were ministering this powerful song having tattoos on their body. And I was still blessed. And it occurred to me, you see, when you change environment, you are also going to live the culture of that environment. And when you live the culture of that environment, you're also going to live the criticism that comes with the culture of that environment. So many a time, the problem we have in Africa is not the Bible, it is the culture. And so the criticism isn't coming from the Bible, but from the culture. And many of us are more cultured than we are scriptural. And that's why it is easy for us to criticize things anyhow without thinking deep. But the truth is, before we criticize anything, we must ask ourselves, is this a sin according to the standard of the Bible? Or is just something we are not comfortable with?